Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson on iron. We are in the midst of learning about some important metals and non-metals. In our last lesson, we learned all about aluminium. We described its main physical and chemical properties, including some chemical reactions associated with this metal. We also described aluminium's many industrial uses, such as for cooking and packaging food, and its uses within construction and the home. In today's lesson, we are going to discuss iron. We will describe the extraction process used for iron. This will involve an outline of how iron is extracted using a blast furnace. Let us get started. Iron is the second most abundant metal in the Earth's crust. It makes up about 4.7% of the crust by weight. Aluminium, as we discussed in our last lesson, is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust with 7% by weight. Iron is also the fourth most abundant element. However, like aluminium, it is never found as a free metal in nature. It only exists naturally within compounds, such as oxides, carbonates, and sulfides. Some main examples of iron ores include hematite, limonite, magnetite, and siderite. Another main ore of iron that you might be familiar with is called iron pyrite. This ore is typically referred to as fool's gold because of its golden appearance. Iron is most commonly extracted from hematite, magnetite, and siderite. The extraction of iron from ore is carried out in a blast furnace, which is a type of furnace used for smelting to produce industrial metals. The word smelting refers to the extraction process. Coke, which is a hard, porous material derived from coal, limestone, and hot air, in addition to the iron ore, are the raw materials used for this process. The furnace is charged with a mixture of iron ore, limestone, and coke at the top, and a blast of hot air is blown in at the bottom. The coke burns to form carbon dioxide, and the temperature approaches 2,000 degrees Celsius near the bottom. As the carbon dioxide rises up, the coke reduces it to carbon monoxide. The carbon monoxide then reduces the iron oxide to iron metal. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide are released as waste gases from the furnace. These are the overall reactions that occur in the blast furnace. The oxidation of coke to carbon dioxide. The reduction of carbon dioxide to carbon monoxide. the reduction of iron oxides to metallic iron by carbon monoxide. The decomposition of the limestone by heat in the blast furnace produces calcium oxide, which serves as a flux to remove impurities. The reaction of calcium oxide with impurities like silica to form calcium silicate, which is a glass-like material called slag. Students, let us do an activity. Explain how calcium carbonate helps in the removal of impurities during the extraction of iron in the blast furnace. Use chemical equations to show your answer.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. What equations did you come up with to explain how calcium carbonate helps in the removal of impurities during the extraction of iron in a blast furnace? You were correct to say that the decomposition of the limestone by heat in the blast furnace produces calcium oxide, which serves as a flux to remove impurities. Also, calcium oxide reacts with impurities to form slag. Let us continue with our lesson. During the extraction of iron, the molten iron flows to the bottom of the blast furnace. The slag, which is much less dense, floats on the surface of the molten iron. This allows for each to be tapped off separately. The iron that is taken directly from the blast furnace is called pig iron. It contains impurities such as silicon, phosphorus, manganese, and sulfur. These impurities make pig iron brittle. We will talk more about this in our next lesson. The slag that is also tapped off is commonly used to manufacture cement. Students, let us do another activity. Please look at this list and copy it onto a piece of paper. Circle the products that are released from a blast furnace during iron extraction.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, students. If you circled nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide, good job. All of these are waste gases that are released during the extraction of iron. If you circled pig iron and slag, you are also correct. The iron that is tapped directly from the blast furnace is called pig iron, and slag is a byproduct of the extraction process that is also tapped off. It is used to produce cement. In today's lesson, we started to learn about iron. We learned that next to aluminium, iron is the second most abundant metal in the Earth's crust. We learned that, like aluminium, it is not a metal that is found in nature in its pure form. We also learned how iron is extracted from ore using a blast furnace. This brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Until next time, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.